welcome, welcome, welcome. It's the Dr. Dare Show live on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome, welcome. I hope everybody had a great week. Mine went kind of fast because I was on vacation last weekend up until Monday. Great vacation. Got to get some rest in and yeah. So welcome, welcome, welcome to Topic Hop Friday. We usually cover two or more topics. Today we have three. And the first one is, do you think Dr. Dre is wrong for not wanting to continue to financially assist his grown daughter, Latanya Young, who allegedly is living out of her car? That's number one. Number two is, what would you do if your husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend or partner all of a sudden was lazy, not connected, and distant from the marriage or the relationship? And number three, do you think your partner should have full access to your phone? Why or why not? Those are our three topics that we're covering tonight. But when you come in, make sure you click share and also tell us how you're feeling. Hey, Tanisha, what's going on? What's going on? I haven't seen you in like a week, Tanisha. I guess you're kind of mad because I talked about Janet Jackson the other day. Yeah. So we are in for good topics and good shows tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome again. You're always welcome to come in and talk and share your opinion. You don't have to agree with each other. You don't have to agree with me. Um, Tanisha said, "Boy, stop." I know, I know, Tanisha. Beyonce, Tanisha's on here trying to. Nah, I'm just kidding. But how's your week been, Tanisha? Have you been busy? Have you been staying out of trouble? Staying out of trouble. So yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining, hello, this is Dr. Dare live on Facebook and YouTube. Come on in. When you come in, click share. Again, we love you to give your opinion, talk about the things you want to talk about. We're not trying to change your opinion. All we're doing is having intelligent conversation with you. We have three topics tonight. The first one is, do you think Dr. Dre is wrong for not wanting to contribute financially? Um, I'm screwing this up. Do you think Dr. Dre is wrong for not wanting to continue to financially assist his grown daughter, Latanya Young, who allegedly is living out of her car currently? Number two, what would you do if your husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, wife or girlfriend or partner all of a sudden was lazy, not connected, and distant from the marriage or relationship? Like, what would you do if that happened? That happens all the time. And number three, do you think your partner should have access, full access to your phone, should be able to scroll through your phone and see whatever they want to see? Do you think that's reasonable? So those are the three things we're talking about. We're going to give everybody a chance to come in and join. Like I said, if you just joined, make sure you share the video, and we will get started momentarily. Tanisha, you said you had a busy week. I'm sure it's been, a busy week, and you said home for the most part. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, my week was busy too, like nonstop, all day, every day, late nights, and then I get home, and then I have to do my little five signs for my TikTok videos and this one, then just a lot, just busy. Then I'm writing an article for a magazine. Then I'm trying to finish up my book. So yeah, I'm all over the place. But we're gonna get it all done and relax, right? But it's been a good week. COVID numbers are climbing back up, so we have to get back into our strategy of wearing our mask and washing our hands and things like that. I think every state has numbers going up. Um, Not here to advocate for vaccinations, but hopefully you get vaccinated. Um, if not, that's your prerogative. Not again, not trying to change that. But yeah, the numbers are going back up, so I can definitely tell. Like the gym was, The outside of the gym today was kind of really slow. Not a lot of people in there working out. Could be because it's Friday and who knows, but I can definitely see a change. Yeah, so I'm just rambling on. So how are y'all doing tonight? How are y'all doing tonight? It's Friday. Tanisha, how's the new job going? It's been what, like 2 or 3 months now. Proud of you though. That's a you moved up and you're doing something different, so that's good. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, me too, Tanisha. I'm tired. Oh my god. And guess what? Like Atlantic Station is now hot like Ansley was. And I'm like, oh my God, you fix one situation and here they go with this other room. But anyway, that's a whole difference. So you've been on that new job since April. Good, good. Good job. Hey everybody. So if you just joining, click share. We haven't started yet. We will be starting probably like 8:40. Um yes, Tanisha's really hot. So we have three topics that we're talking about tonight and they're on the screen right down there. You can read them. We're talking about Dr. Dre and his daughter. And what would you do if your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or partner just all of a sudden did this change, got lazy, disconnected from the marriage, and what do you do in that situation? And then number three, do you think your partner should have full access to your phone, go in there and see whatever they need to see? Um, yeah, so that's what we're talking about tonight. And yeah. So we were out last week. So hopefully everybody had a good weekend back then. I did miss y'all, and I'm going to be giving away a gift for people that subscribe to the Dr. Dare show on YouTube, and I will promote that this week, probably starting tomorrow. Um, just to get people to subscribe to the Dr. Dare show on YouTube, which is connected to this channel too. But I'll be giving away a special gift, like raffling a special gift. Not raffling, but just picking somebody who um, subscribed, a new subscriber on the channel. Tanisha, my trip was good. The beach was nice. The sun felt good. It was good to get away because I hadn't been anywhere since the pandemic started. And so I got what you meant, Tanisha. Yeah, so I hadn't been anywhere, so yeah, it was a good Tampa. The beach was really nice and water was clean. I love that. So funny. But anyway, let's get started. It's that time. So we're gonna start with number one. Do you think Dr. Dre is wrong for not wanting to continue to financially assist his grown daughter, Latanya Young, who allegedly is living out of her car? So Latanya Young is Dr. Dre's, I think it's oldest daughter. She has four kids, I believe, and they're not living with her in the car, but she's actually living in the car. She moved from Las Vegas to California. She's a Uber Eats driver, um, and some other drivers, DoorDash, and she's kind of homeless. But Dr. Dre cut her off. I think they said January 2020. Some of the articles that I read say he cut her off because she spoke to the media. I don't know how true that is, so I don't know. But I would think it would be a little bit more to cut your daughter off. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's wrong for Dr. Dre to actually cut his grown daughter off? I think she's 30 years old. Let me look that up. Um, I believe she's 30 years old. I know she's his oldest daughter. Um, yeah, but she claims she hasn't seen him for 18 years. Can you believe that? And Dr. Dre he's worth, I think, $800 million. But he also had to give Latanya Young's mother, in the divorce settling, is like 300,000 a month. Why can't mom help? Hey Alice, how are you? Thank you for joining. How are you doing? Yeah, so do you think Dr. Dre is wrong for not wanting to continue to financially assist his grown daughter, Latanya Young, who allegedly is living out of her car? And that's the question too. When is the cutoff to stop taking care of grown kids? Like when should you just release them? Uh, and let them take and Tanisha says, I think it's wrong, but not sure what he said to the media about him though. Yeah, I don't know what she said. I didn't see any specifics. I don't know. It had to have happened in 2020 because that is when he stopped giving her support. But my thing is you're 30 years old, you have four kids. I know your father's a millionaire. Maybe you thought that was the escape for not going out and working and being a responsible adult. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all think you should cut your child off at a certain age, or do you think you should continue to enable them until they can stand on their feet? I don't know. But Tanisha says she thinks it's wrong, but not sure what she said to the media about him. So Tanisha, you think it's wrong for Dr. Dre to cut her off? Is that what you're saying? Welcome, 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 everybody. If you're just joining, we're doing topic number one. Dr. Dre is a music mogul. He's worth $800 million last that I read. Um, but he stopped taking care of his grown daughter. She's now allegedly living out of her car. Well, she says she's renting a car for $2,300 every 3 weeks or something like that. That's an expensive car. Um, for a rental car, and she's doing DoorDash and Uber Eats to make ends meet. And her four kids are living with someone else. But Dr. Dre also pays his ex-wife 300,000 a month. That's a lot of money. So where's the mom? Where's her mom? So Tanisha, you do think it's wrong. You think he should continue to jump in and help. But when is the cutoff point? When do you stop taking care of that um, grown child? That's my thing. I don't know. I think I would need to know all of the situations. Like, did he did he continue to just help her and she just blew through the money and maybe did drugs or whatever? I don't know. I'm not saying that's. I just would want more information on the daughter and how she's kind of what her life looks like. Because sometimes if someone has a mental illness or they're not doing anything for themselves, but you're just continuing to give them money. You don't want to do that either because you're actually enabling that personality to keep doing what they're doing. So if she was just running through money, taking money and doing whatever she wanted to do, I don't think that he should continue to help. But Tanisha, she disagrees. She says Dre should still help his daughter out of the bind. Okay. Now I probably would if a family member was homeless, like I would at least make sure that they weren't like living outside in a car. That part I would, because you don't want that for anybody really. So especially if you're a family, especially if you can just say, okay, I'm gonna buy you this apartment and just let you live there. But I do get the other side where if you keep continuing to help people and they're not um doing what they should to get their lives together. Like you're not trying to educate yourself, get a successful job, and all you think is that because I am a rich person, I'm your father, that I'm just supposed to keep giving. What are your thoughts? I'm just jabbering on, yak 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 yak. Alice, what do you think? What do you think is should be the cutoff for a grown kid? Like, do you think you should keep taking care of them for a certain time? I know most parents, it's like once you're 18, they want you out of the house on your own. I don't know about that part because I think that may be too young to just kind of disconnect that person, disconnect the child because the human brain doesn't develop fully until you're age 25. So 18 through 24, you're still making like silly mistakes. But so what do y'all think? I'm just yabbering on tonight. Uh, yeah. So yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining, we're still on topic number one. We will be getting to topic two and three in a second, but wanted to give everybody a chance. So we have disagreement here. Me and Tanisha. Tanisha thinks he should continue to help. I'm like, I don't know. I need to hear more information. I need to hear how she's conducting her life. Tanisha says, I understand what you're saying about cutting them off when they show that they aren't serious about their own lives. Yeah, because you would just you know, even though you're rich, you can become poor really fast. Money just goes like that. So yeah, I don't know. It depends on the scenario, but I get it, Tanisha. I get what you're saying too. If they're living in a car, yeah, we don't want that. We want to try to help them, more than that. Mike, what's up, Mike? Mike, we got to hang out when all of this stuff. It, I thought it was getting better, but I don't know. Anyway, how do she have money for a rental car? Okay, so Mike, according to what I read, she's doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, and I think she was working for some warehouse for $15 an hour. But did you hear how much the rental car is? It's $2,300, I think, every 3 weeks or something like that, and she claims she only paid for 1 week. I just I just think and so what some articles saying is the reason why he cut her off in January 2020 because she said something to the media. I don't know how true that is. I haven't seen his response. And she claims she hasn't seen him in 18 years, and the only way that she could communicate with him is through his team. So apparently he's pissed off and has cut her off, is what I'm thinking. That's why I'm like, there's more to this story. I wish we had more details, but they're just not out there yet. But yeah, she's paying $2,300 every 3 weeks for this car. And she's using the car to do Uber Eats and DoorDash. That's what I read. Is the car being rented from Uber? It didn't say. She didn't say. She just said, let me see if I see that in this article that I was just reading, but I don't think it says. Let's see. The car is a pretty penny, she explained. It's an SUV that costs $2,300 for 3 weeks, and I only paid for 1 week. Sooner or later, they're going to take the car. So she doesn't say like where she's renting it from. I wouldn't think Uber's car would be that much. If that's because you don't make that much in Uber Eats or DoorDash, do you? I don't know. Anybody out there did Uber Eats or DoorDash, and can you make $2,300 in 3 weeks? And can you rent a car from Uber? I'm sure. I think I saw that before, but would it be that much? And I know California's cost of living is way much more than Atlanta, Virginia. So there's that dynamic of that piece too. There's definitely more to the story than we know. Yeah, I just I wish we knew more about why he cut her off because I can see it. But like Tanisha, I agree with part of it. Like if she's homeless, you know, get a place. My thing is, why haven't you purchased the place with all that money? Why haven't you solidified? Or at least your mom. Your mom is getting 300,000 a month for Lisa Johnson, Dr. Dre's ex-wife, is getting $300,000, excuse me, a month. So why? Where's mom? Where's mom? That's my thought. But hey, good story. Good story. So that's the big story all over the news this week. So that's where I grabbed that fun from. I just wanted to know everybody's opinion. I know, you know, that's where we are with that one. Number two. Oh, Mike has something. Well, that's Dr. Dre's money, not his kids. He is only responsible for the kids until 18. And I agree with that, Mike. That's what I was saying before you got on. Like, hey, and he was helping her out last year, and then she apparently said something to the news media, and I guess he got pissed off and like, I ain't okay. I ain't giving you nothing. Allegedly, I don't know the details of that, but Tanisha feels like he should get her out of this bind that she's in. I said maybe, you know, get her out of from being homeless. But again, I need to know what your details are. Are you on drugs and you just going through the money that I've been giving you, and things like that. But we don't know all the story. Yeah. So let's go to number two. What would you do if your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend or partner all of a sudden became distant? Oh, right there. Oh, let me go copy that statement. That sentence. Ah, ah, ah. Now I saw this on one of the reality shows that I was watching. And so I thought it was important. I thought it was a good question. What would you do if your husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend or partner all of a sudden was lazy, not connected, and distant from the marriage or relationship? What would you do? What would that look like for you? Would you leave? Would you confront them? Would you try to figure out what is going on? You know. So on this reality show that I watch, the wife all of a sudden was sleeping all day, and she had two kids that she had to get ready for school, even though it's virtual school because of the pandemic. They had to be at the school at 8 o'clock. She would wake them up at 7:59 because she was asleep. And then once she got them on the computer, so basically meaning that they hadn't had any breakfast, and she would just slap them in front of the computer and go right back to bed and would sleep all day. And so when the husband came home, he is like, what is going on? Like, what is going on with my wife? What would you do in that situation? And it's almost like she can't snap out of it. I mean, I know from a therapist perspective a little bit of probably what's going on, but what would you do if you were in that situation? Yes, and your partner just start acting weird. Someone else has their interest, or she is having mental issues. Yep, that's what I thought, Mike. Too. There's either two um uh explanations to this situation. Either, like you said, Mike, she's found other interests and she no longer cares, or she's having mental issues. And Tanisha agrees with part of your statement. She says they got to be cheating. What about the other part of that, Tanisha? Do you think mental health issues could come into play? Because think the situation that I was watching on this reality show is it was in the middle of the pandemic too, like kind of right when it started, when it was bad. Everybody was kind of scared and not sure what our future looked like, and people were dying and all of that stuff. So part of that is that too. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's two stories. Either she's depressed and not really um depressed by the pandemic, or depressed that she's this mother and there's nothing going on in her life. All she has is taking care of these two boys and this husband. Or um like y'all said, either she's found somebody else and lost interest. Like, but what would you do? Would you confront them, or would you give them a ultimatum, like, hey, if you don't straight, because in the situation that's on this real life, I mean on this reality show, the husband's like, look, either you get this together, or I'm about to be out of here. Mike says either she wants to be out of the relationship, could be, and Tanisha says I agree, including the kids. Yeah, you think she's done with the kids, Mike? She just, and if you've seen the show, it just seems like and it's the Real Housewives of Potomac Mills is where I saw this, and I think she loves. Well, they're not even married though. Actually, they were married, then they got a divorce. Now they're about to get married again. So I don't know if she's ready to get out of the relationship, but I think she's either burned out, depressed, or I don't know, or not sexually satisfied too, because that could be another part of that. What are y'all thoughts? It's so many ways that this can go, but I know I think I would confront the person like, hey, I noticed that there's a change in your demeanor. I noticed that you're acting different. And then I would be like, okay, what is it? And then if you didn't tell me what it was, if you didn't tell me what was going on, I would give a deadline. Like, if this behavior didn't change by a certain point or period, then I might be out the door. So Mike says, yes, indeed, she's unconnected to them, no interest whatsoever. Oh, wow. But that happens to a lot of women though. Once they've been married for a long time and they feel like they've lost themselves in the marriage, sometimes they do disconnect. And so I think that's up to the husband too to pull that back in if he can, unless she's just cheating. Unless she's just cheating. Tanisha says if I were involved in a relationship and it happened to me, I'd have I've had to have a discussion. No lies, all truth. Yeah, that's my thing. We're gonna have to have a discussion. But then I'm gonna give myself a deadline to where like if this doesn't change after a certain amount of time, I'm gonna have to see what I'm gonna have to do, whether that be leave, whether that means that I'm going to leave, uh, you know, give ourselves a break or something like that, and we go from there. Yep, that's the same thing I said, Tanisha. Yeah. So good stuff, good stuff. And our third and final piece of this, because I don't want to keep you all too long. It's been a long week. See, you think you go on vacation and you come back and you have all this work, and that is exactly how I felt this week. Like that's why I don't go on vacation a lot. But anyway, so our last question is: do you think your partner should have full access to your phone? Why or why not? So your phone, you give it. Do you think you should give it to your partner and let them go through your phone so they can see everything? What are your thoughts on that? I'm interested to see. So Mike says yes. Why, Mike? Why would you do that? Because there's this thing called boundaries, right? When you're in a relationship, you don't want to give up your full self, everything you have to that person because then you start losing your identity. So you want to make sure that you maintain boundaries between your mate. But if y'all agreed to share phones, that's fine. That's what I try to do with couples and sessions. I try to tell them, y'all need to sit down, make this agreement, and establish what things are okay and what things are not okay. So if you think phones should be kept, you know, separate, like you shouldn't have that access, then you both have to agree to that. Mike says, especially if you have nothing to hide. I agree. I agree at some point, Mike, but I don't know. You don't want to lose your whole personality or your whole self in a just because you're in a relationship. Because I may just don't want you to know what I may have I want to talk to other friends about stuff that's going on in the house and I don't want you to read it. Not meaning that I'm cheating or anything, but just having that way to vent to my friends or something about different things. I may not want you to have access to that unless, like you said, unless they're hiding something. Now, a lot of cheaters probably would be like, no. Tanisha says no. Why do you say no, Tanisha? Mike said yes. You said no. Why do you say no, Tanisha? How are you losing yourself? Because Mike, if you don't ever keep some things to your, I mean, keep things. What about that? If you don't ever if you give everything up to that partner all the time, then you never have anything that is yours because I think you should maintain autonomy, like being your own individual even in when you're in a relationship, because what I've seen with some people is that as soon as they get in a relationship, they throw away all their friends. They throw away all the things that they used to do, that they enjoy, just to be with this person. And then to me, that's how you lose yourself. And that includes a phone. Like, if that is your identity, that's how you connect to your friends. You're not cheating or anything. Um, Mike says he don't agree, and that's okay. Um, but yeah, that's my perspective. Why do you think you should, Mike? Why do you think that you should just go, hey, here you go? Stephanie Bagley. See, Stephanie agrees with me. Mike, and Tanisha, let me get back to you. You said my phone is like my diary. Exactly. That is what I was trying to say. Like, that is your piece of, I keep using the word autonomy because that is what I feel like you should maintain when you're in a relationship. You shouldn't blend everything together with your partner. And that's where a lot of people, your partner gets bored with you because you're doing every single thing that they want you to do, and you're not doing anything that you want to do. And then all of a sudden they leave you because they're like, I'm bored. You just, no, you should maintain your individuality. Tanisha says, I don't have to discuss everything to my other half. I agree. I agree. I think there's some things, the big important things, like, of course, if you feel like it's not working, or there's a problem in the household or stuff like that, yeah. But if you're just having a phone that you're just talking to your friends, like you said, it's like a diary. It's where you put your own personal feelings and stuff like that, then that's okay. I think that's just my opinion. But Mike says it's a phone. So I'm trying to put it in Mike's voice. It's a phone. People make a phone their lives. That's true, Mike. That's true. I get that. But that doesn't mean that you're cheating or trying to hide something from your significant other. It just means that, hey, this is something that's important to me that I want to keep to myself. And Tanisha says, now, if my partner has any questions or concern about me, he will get the truth. So you're going to have that conversation if that partner asks. And that's good. Good communication. Always good. Stephanie says, I feel like people who want to look through your phone are the same ones who want to put a tracker on your car. Very good point. Yeah. Very good point. And that's that control factor too in a relationship. And we all know that control is fear. If you feel like you have to control someone, you fear that either they're going to leave, or they're going to do something, and you want to control that. And that's what that is. Mike says, are we talking about communication or a phone? We're talking about both, Mike. Mike, I don't think you get the gist of, because if you give somebody your phone, why would you want to? Why would you want their phone? Are you suspecting that they're cheating? What is it that you want to see in that phone, Mike? And I love that Mike gives us the other side. I do, because people we don't always agree, but this is how you have conversations. So I love it. But Stephanie saying no, Tanisha saying no. Um, I don't want to be controlled, Tanisha said. I wouldn't want to have access to my partner's phone either. As Stephanie is replying to Tanisha, me neither. I think it says, I value my partner's privacy. Yeah. And I think that's important because so many times in couples counseling, when I'm doing couples counseling, it's always one person that has more of a control thing, that they want to know everything, and they freak out if they don't know every single thing about what their partner and that partner is doing every day, every hour, every moment. And that is unhealthy. Like, you know, I had to shut up because I was about to go into um, a specific um, couple, but I can't. So yeah, you don't want someone to have full control of your life. You should have your private life, and they should have theirs. And when I say private, it doesn't mean like you're sneaking around trying to hide that you're sleeping with someone and any of that type stuff. But just the like Tanisha, I like the way she defined her phone equates to a diary, maybe. You know, Tanisha says, I'm gonna put that on this. Oh, I think somebody just had an accident. Tanisha says, my last relationship ended because I needed to break away from a control maniac. Yeah. Sorry, I think someone got in an accident outside my window. Anyway, yeah, and control is fear because they feel like if what is that? Oh, anyway, I don't know if y'all heard that, but it was loud. Yeah, control is fear. That's never a good thing when you're with a mate that's all about the control. That's a whole nother show. Maybe I need to jot that down. Yeah, that's a whole nother. What is that? Anyway, so Tanisha, was your last relationship? Was that Did he want access to your phone? Did he want to see all of that type of stuff? If you don't mind sharing. I don't know. You hear that noise out there? I think everything's okay. I don't know what it is. Um. Oh, he wanted to see your phone, Tanisha. Okay, yeah, that's not. And Stephanie's saying it's not about having anything to hide. It's about respecting the person's space. Yes. And I think that's where people make a mistake in relationships. You feel like you have to give your all to that person, lose yourself, and then if it breaks up, you're stuck trying to rebuild yourself back up because you've lost yourself. And that's what I mean by losing yourself, Mike. You asked that earlier. Um, Down to the simple thing of a phone. Your phone, you just have, I know for me, I have just my friends' numbers in here. I have my social media pages. I have what else is in here? A calendar with things that I want to do. But these are my personal things. Like I don't want a mate feeling like, hey, I need to see your phone. I need to see everything that you're going to do today. I need to see who your friend contacts is because what else would you want my phone for? What is the purpose? And again, Stephanie says it's about respecting the other person's space, and I agree. And Tanisha agrees with Stephanie. So yeah, I think you know but that's where when I'm doing couples therapy, one thing that I do get them to do is you have to write up a contract of what boundaries that you want to establish, and that is one of the things that I do ask them to put in their contract is how do you want that to handled, because sometimes you may be sitting on the couch going through your phone and your partner comes in and they're like, who are you on the phone, what are you doing in that phone? And it's like, hey, I'm just scrolling or whatever. So you do have to have an agreement of how that looks in a relationship. But maintain, if you're in a relationship, maintain boundaries and never let people cross those boundaries because it could just get messy and then you lose yourself. That's the things that we don't want. And Stephanie says, and some friends, why is my screen froze? And some friends send me confidential stuff about their lives. I don't want my partner to read that stuff. Exactly. Right. And so it's not about cheating. It's not about hiding. Like you said earlier, Stephanie, it's not about hiding anything. It's about the fact that privacy, um, your friends may be sharing things that are confidential that they don't want your husband or wife or partner to know about. And so that's why I'm like, I don't know. But in your relationship, again, you establish what you feel like is the best option for your relationship. Yeah. But all this good stuff, good stuff. But I always recommend couples, even if you're just dating and you've been dating for at least like 6 months or so, I feel like everybody should go to couples counseling. Only because these are the type of things that happen and then they get blown out of proportion because nobody ever talked about them. And so I think it's very, very, very important to discuss these types of things when you're in a relationship with someone, because they can go, "What is that? Do y'all hear that?" Anyway, all right. So, anything else on this topic before we close? We're on 40 minutes, but great, great, great discussion. Um, yeah, yeah, it is, Stephanie. I do recommend it because what I see when I'm doing couples therapy is a lot of communication issues. So that's one of the things we create a contract with boundaries on there for each person, so you know up front, because that's where relationships go left, is there's no communication up front, so you don't know what to expect from that person. Something simple like, "I need to see your phone," could turn into a big mess. And so you want to talk about those things when it's not in the heat of the moment. Yeah. All right, y'all. So anything else before I close the show for tonight? But great, great feedback. Thank y'all for taking the time to join. Any topics that you want me to discuss, you can send them my way. Email me or instant message me or whatever, and I will talk about them and research it. It always starts fights. Yes, Tanisha, that's gonna be, especially too. You know firsthand, in a relationship that's being controlled. That's Yeah, that's never good. And I think you see those red flags right up front. But that's why I suggest couples counseling, even if you've just been dating for 6 months. Get into a couples counseling. It could be one session a week. You can use it as a date night, whatever that looks like. But I think that's where a lot of couples go wrong, because we expect things from people, but we don't communicate those things. So, anyway, I will just keep going on. Thank y'all. Have a good Friday night. I need to go see what that is because it's loud. Anyway, have a good night, y'all.